And David 808.
This is Two Pastors,
Popcorn.
and a movie. Hey, this is David 503.
David 808.
Hey, and this is Two Pastors, Popcorn, and a Movie podcast, broadcasting live from Honolulu.
You can hear the mowers in the background.
They're mowing in the background. I think there was a truck backing up.
Hey, you know what's famous about this marina that we're broadcasting from? Older people are going to know that is the marina where the 3-hour voyage took place for Gilligan's Island.
Oh, yes, when they're leaving the marina for the 3-hour tour, and who knows where they went, but they ended up on Gilligan's Island.
It
wasn't called Gilligan's Island. It got named that later.
But that is the marina where they left out of. And right now they're mowing grass and doing the weed whacker. But we wanted to take a moment to tell you about a great movie on this Two Pastors, Popcorn, and a Movie, because it's an incredible movie.
It's called The King of Kings, a story by Charles Dickens.
Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me for just a moment.
King Arthur!
Get down from there!
1, 2, 3!
A little backstory on the movie. You may not know this, but in 1934, a book was published, and this was after the death of Charles Dickens. And it was published as a book called The Life of Our Lord, and it was a story that Charles Dickens wrote for his kids to share the gospel with him.
You are not King Arthur!
Charles, you're going to tell him a great story about forgiveness.
Can we do this without the cat?
Stop right there.
Our story begins 2,000 years ago when baby Jesus came into the world.
Wait, stop. If it's not about a king, then I'm not interested.
This story is about the King of Kings.
If you're with me, then I know that I will fly.
It has angels and wicked kings and miracles. Oh, so you want to hear the story now?
So this Seoul Korean production company got a hold of the story and decided to do an animated family film, and we've both seen it, and
I was
we want to share
amazed.
some of our thoughts with you and let you know what you think about it. Now, it comes in theaters
April 11th.
right before, a couple weeks, I think, before Easter, so a great family film. So you saw the movie. What'd you think about it?
I was really amazed. It's an incredible animation movie. It's the first one since Prince of Egypt.
Really?
And that was a massive
So how
movie.
long ago? Prince of Egypt, was that 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
Do you remember when I said that your story was based on mine?
Yeah?
Well, this is what I meant.
Nothing.
Again. Am I not surprised? This is getting embarrassing.
Getting? We've been throwing nets all night and nothing to show for it.
Sail into the deeper water and cast out your nets.
Who said that?
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Look, I know you're trying to help, but we've been fishing these waters our whole lives, and I can tell you, nobody's ever caught anything over there. But, thanks anyway.
Come on. What's the worst that could happen? We catch less fish?
Fine, whatever. But I'm telling you, we are not going to see a single fish.
Have you ever seen so many fish?
No, I can't believe this. There's so many, the net's about to break.
It's a miracle!
Willow! All the fish!
What's going on? We were out there all morning and there weren't any fish.
Well, not anymore anyway.
I can't believe it. Thank you, teacher.
Put down your nets and follow me, and I will make you fishers of men, but your catch will be followers of God.
Teacher, you don't want anything to do with me. I'm a sinful man.
Come, don't be afraid.
So the story is I love how it's wrapped in narration by Charles Dickens. So Charles, as his dad, sets up the story, and his son Walter is the one that he's sharing the story with. So you've got an opening scene that there's some tension.
There's a cat involved.
And yeah, there's a rambunctious cat. But their son, Walter, is enthralled and excited about King Arthur, and he's got his sword, and his dad tells him a story about a king. But Walter says, I don't want to hear about a story about anybody unless it's about King Arthur, a king. And Charles said, well, it is about a king, the king of kings.
In fact, that story about King Arthur was fashioned after this story.
Interesting.
And that's what Charles Dickens tells his son Walter, that I'm going to tell you the real authentic story. And so he gets involved with it. And so that's why it's good for all ages, because you've got Walter, who's a young child, really enthralled by it. And then you've got the wife and Charles Dickens talking about the story. So there's something for all ages.
So, you are the one they call teacher.
This woman was caught in the act of adultery.
Moses said to throw stones at such a woman. What say you?
Yes. What do you say we should do?
Stone her! Stone her! As Moses commanded!
Wait, rocks?
Yes,
But won't that hurt her?
very much.
But that's wrong. Jesus should do something to stop it.
Perhaps he should get a magic sword?
Yes, that'll stop them.
Well, I suppose you're right.
Is that what he does?
Would you like to know what Jesus does?
Yes! Daddy!
Right, where was I?
The rocks, Daddy, the rocks!
Ah, understood, yes, thank you. So, Jesus started writing on the ground with his finger.
Fine. I'll tell you what. Anyone here who has never sinned can throw the first stone. Go ahead. I'll wait. You? No? Huh. Every one of you has sinned? Imagine that. It's all right. They're gone now. No one is here to condemn you.
Really?
Not even me. Now go, and from now on, sin no more.
And he did it all without a magic sword. Because the King of Kings doesn't need a sword.
This interview is brought to you in part by islandpopper.com, makers of gourmet popcorn, also bekings.com, makers of honey dust and the sugar substitute, and Snow Creek Meadows, makers of goat milk soap and lotion. We also want to say thank you to kidsmatter.com. That's kids with a Z, matter.com. Go online now to sign up for their special conference that's coming up in 2025. Registration is underway.
I liked how they weaved through the narration of Charles Dickens' character with Walter, and they jumped back and forth from, the living room of their house to the story, and other times, and there was a couple scenes. I love it when Walter would say, wait, Dad. Now, what's a manger?
Yeah.
And he would tell him, and there were numerous points, so they kind of step back and pause for the audience and younger kids that are watching this movie to kind of unpack, okay, that's what that is. And it's done in a way that's entertaining, it's engaging, there's laughter, there's humor, but it's a poignant message. And I think as they tell that story, it's probably the best presentation I've seen from the Bethlehem all the way to the Great Commission.
Hands down. I was taking notes, and we review thousands of movies, and I'm writing down the notes. At 6 minutes this happens, at 8 minutes this happens, at 10 minutes, at 12, at 14. There's miracle after miracle. So it is the best cliff notes of any movie talking about Christ that I've seen. And it was just amazing how it is. You're right, where they bring the child into the movie, the dad's walking the streets of Jerusalem and stuff like that.
Yeah. So sometimes for the audience you're watching, there are moments where Charles and Walter are kind of in the midst of the story, watching it take place in an environment that they're in. So it's a great visual storytelling by the filmmakers. It's a Seoul Korean company, but a group of believers from Seoul that decided to put this film out. It's going to be in theaters April 11th across the country, in theaters everywhere. And if you go to the website, we'll have a link below. And what's really exciting, and I think the studio behind this film, I think they've provided an opportunity or a solution, that is, for churches to actually find a theater, have enough time to plan, book a showtime, and actually buy tickets.
And the studio is Angel Studios, so they also have this little app down there. You go to, use the link below, and you go to the site, and if you're just a family or a single person, you can pay it forward, or you can actually claim a free ticket from Angel Studios as well. So it is an amazing movie that we don't want you to miss. It comes out April 11th. Tell your friends.
Starting April 11th. It's not just one day, but it starts Friday, April 11th, and we'll have a run of weeks going through Easter and beyond. So make sure you make plans. If you're a children's pastor, if you're involved in ministry at your church, make plans to see this movie. Encourage families to go. Create an opportunity, maybe a parents' night out. Do a volunteer appreciation night.
Use it to promote the fact you're going to be doing VBS this summer. This is a great movie with that message.
Yeah, there's great teaching moments in this film, and you might create some opportunities for families to unpack the film after they get home. So maybe let your creative juices flow and create some questions, follow-up questions for the ride home or dinner the next day to unpack the various message points from the movie. So it's The King of Kings, a story by Charles Dickens, in theaters starting April 11th, right before Easter. Make plans now, buy tickets now. I know I've been talking to churches that are buying tickets, and they're taking groups opening weekend. So
what's your favorite part of the movie?
I like those moments where Walter asks for clarification with his dad. It just kind of communicates just the childlike faith and wanting some clarity on various issues. But also, secondly, I think in this film there's some of the miracles that I haven't typically seen portrayed in a film that really were refreshing to see a little bit different. I think Lazarus, that miracle is portrayed in there, and when he casts the demons out of the pigs and heals the man who was not in his right mind, but Jesus heals him, and the demons go, and he said in that particular scripture it says he was clothed and in his right mind. So that was kind of a moment that stood out for me because of the power of the gospel and Jesus' transformative influence on that man's life.
I liked it because Walter was watching his dad tell the story, and he continued to be interested in it. And they talk about fishing for men, they talk about all the different miracles in it, and it's like a synopsis of the New Testament. So someone who's not familiar with the Bible is going to really enjoy seeing all the different parts of it.
You know what I liked, and some spoiler alerts, you know the story, but
Yeah, we know who dies and who wins in the end.
But I like it at the end how it wraps up. Walter is so excited about the story and about no longer King Arthur, but about the King of Kings. And he goes into his siblings' bedroom and he's jumping on their beds and says, "We've got to tell everybody." And his enthusiasm is contagious.
I feel like that's what we're doing now. We've got to tell everybody about this movie.
It's a great movie. We've shared it with a few people, and like 10 out of 10. Best movie we've seen in a long time. So mark your calendars. April 11th. Right before Easter. Go see it. Go to the link below. Find a theater. Find a showtime. Buy some group tickets. go to Costco, buy some, well, you can't take popcorn in,
No,
but
you can't.
buy some popcorn, enjoy the movie, and I guarantee the families in your church, you as a family will love this movie, and you'll enjoy the message, and you'll be entertained, but also inspired, and you'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll want to go tell the world of the greatest story ever told about the King of Kings. Thanks for joining us for Two Pastors, Popcorn, and a Movie.
We enjoy talking about movies and shows that are coming to a theater and or streaming.
We'll be back next time with more incredible interviews and movie news.
And amazing information.
Popcorn. Want some more popcorn?
I would love some more popcorn.
Take some more popcorn.
Yeah, let's go get some more popcorn.
Okay, we'll see you later.